Thanks, John. Well, today, Russian MPs offered to travel to Washington to talk to their American counterparts before the congressional debate on action in Syria and the G20 summit later this week in Russia. Well, I'm joined now from Moscow by Dr. Sergei Markov, a professor at the Moscow State Institute of International Relations and a former Russian MP and advisor to the Russian government. Well, let's start, Dr. Markov, with what the American Muslim convert we've just heard from, Bilal Abdul Karim, said, namely that the US will end up attacking both the regime and the rebels. Is that your assessment?
First of all, I think I express opinion of a lot of Russians and other nations. We don't want to depend on decision on United States Congress. We don't want United States bomb one country, bomb another country, bomb third country, bomb fourth country, and bomb everybody. Stop bombing, I would say. Pay attention to your economy. And it's one. Secondly, it's clear that chemical weapons have been used in Syria now. And but from if you're looking from the Moscow, it's very strange for Bashar Assad, and it's even crazy to use chemical weapons in a situation when he is winning and close to get victory, and in the day exactly when United Nations inspectors are coming to the country. He's not crazy. But it's clear that rebels use chemical weapons, and what we can see is pacification. And we're seeing that pacification has been made by same people who are making pacification before war in Iraq.
Okay,
and I will recommend you as congressman.
Okay, let me just interrupt because President Assad has said in an interview with a newspaper today that there's no proof that his regime has used chemical weapons. But what proof is there that his regime didn't?
There are no proof yet. But the logic help us, the mind should help us that for Bashar Assad it's no sense to use chemical weapons in a situation when he is winning and United Nations inspectors coming to his country, and when his opponents ask bombing because using of chemical weapons. It's more or less clear that it's provocation and the pacification of using chemical weapons by Bashar Assad. We are not proponent of Bashar Assad. He is not the great guy in the Middle East. But it's absolutely clear that August 21st, the chemical weapons have been used as provocation by rebels. And
well, what proof do you have for that claim? What proof do you have for that claim? Mind. Logic. It's a hunch.
Because using of chemical weapons August 21st in the suburb of Damascus was very bad for Bashar Assad and very good for the militant opposition. And what we should do, and what I strongly recommend to as congressman, start investigation of what happened before Iraq war. Why this information will be falsified by Central Intelligence Committee of United States and by George Bush and Dick Cheney, at that time Vice President. Put them to the prison. If they put them to the prison, nobody will want to again repeat such kind of falsification of information and provocation and starting the war.
Okay.
It's what we should think about. I think it's very important to stop such kind of using the bombing aircrafts in every moment when they want.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
believe
but
our American friends will
Dr. Sergei Markov,
find right
sorry
decision.
to interrupt, but I'm afraid out of time. Thank you very much for joining us.